Welcome to another video. So, after the last videos I did about Zed, there have been some great updates to it, especially in the AI features section, which is what we care about. It is now much more compatible with Windows as well. I'll also tell you how you can install it on Windows if you want to use the free Zed AI features too. Anyway, we'll go through the releases one by one, and we'll try them out as well. Before we talk about the releases, I want to help my Windows bros out too, because many people who watch my videos are on Windows and want to try out Zed. So, for those people, recently Zed shared that there have been some great compatibility updates, and it now works much better. Now, let's talk about how you can install it on Windows. When you look at the general guide to install it, you might get scared. So, we won't do that because there's a better and easier option. To install it, first get Scoop installed on your machine. Scoop is like a package manager for Windows. Just run this command on PowerShell, and Scoop will get installed. Once that's done, just run this command, and then another command. This will install Zed on your computer, and you'll be able to use it. It might be unstable in some edge cases, but it's good to use. Anyway, let's move on to the major updates now. I'll start from version 152 because that's where the updates begin, which we haven't covered. Also, I'll only be talking about the AI updates, not the general stuff. In this release, they added a way to accept terminal inline assist suggestions without executing them, which is great because previously, if you asked for a shell command suggestion, it would execute directly, which might not be what everyone wants. Apart from that, they also improved assistant configuration to make links clickable, which is also cool because previously you had to copy and paste URLs. There are also some minor things that aren't as interesting. The next release mainly has non-trivial things like bug fixes. But one thing I like in this release is the option to reference multiple files when using the file option. Previously, that wasn't possible, and it was very frustrating when I had to reference multiple things at once. There's also now the option to directly copy and paste the slash commands, which was previously not possible, because if you pasted something, it treated it as text instead of a command. These are the major things in this release. Now, let's look at the newer release after this. This release added one of my new favorite commands, the delta command. This new command allows you to reinsert changed files that were previously included in a context. For example, if you referenced 5 files and asked Zed to make some changes, it would do that and finish. But if you wanted to make further changes or chat about those same 5 files, you'd have to add them again, one by one. Now, you can just type /delta, and it will add the same files that were previously added to the context, which is great because it removes the manual hassle. Apart from this, they also added support for the OpenAI O1 Mini and O1 Preview models. Another great thing added here is support for fill-in-the-middle style inline completions. So, if you use Supermaven, you can write the first line, then the third line, and it will automatically complete the second line, which is great. This generally produces better results because the AI knows what the first and third lines are and can better predict the second. They also added support for specifying keep-alive settings for Ollama AI models because sometimes, if you don't use Ollama for a while, it gets unloaded from memory, causing a cold startup delay. Now, you can configure it to send a message periodically to keep it loaded. They also changed the default timeout option to 600 to accommodate the recent O1 model release. Now, let's talk about the new and latest version. This new version added a new assistant inline alternative setting to configure additional models that will perform inline assists in parallel to the chat. Basically now, you can have multiple variations of the inline assist by using one generation from the model set in the config file and the one selected from the main inline assistant graphical option. It also added a new Fix with Assistant action for code with errors or warnings. Basically, there's a simple new option to refactor or fix an error you might see in your code, like a linting error. This is also amazing. Additionally, it added max tokens for Ollama's Qwen 2.5-coder model. So, these are the major new things that have been added in these releases. The AI features are evolving fast. If you're using Windows, you should also have access to these features. Now, let's open up Zed and try out these new features. But before we do that, I'd like to tell you about today's sponsor, BoxChat. BoxChat is an all-in-one AI chat platform that allows you to use multiple AI models like O1, GPT-4o, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Gemini 1.5 Pro, Mixtral, Flux, Stable Diffusion 3, and a bunch of other AI tools for less than one ChatGPT membership cost. The membership starts from $18 and goes up to $38. So, there's an option for everyone. Visit their site from the link in the description. And don't forget to use my coupon code, CodeKing25, to get additional 25% off on this already great deal. Now, let's get back to the video. First of all, make sure you've updated your Zed to the latest version. You'll automatically see the update option at the bottom if you haven't done so. Just click that and get it updated. I've already updated mine here. Now, let's talk about the new options. First, if I go to the Assistant panel here and click the Model option, you can see there's the new O1 Mini and O1 Preview options, which is great. Let me show you the Delta option as well. To use that, first, we'll need to generate something. Let's use the workflow command and ask it to make a Minesweeper game. If you don't know what workflow is, you can watch the Stop Using Cursor video I did with Zed, where I explained everything. In summary, it's like the composer option of Cursor. Okay, it's generating. And it's done. Let's click the transform option on each step here. Now, once the code is generated, we can click the accept button. Let's rinse and repeat this. Okay, now it's done, and the code has been added. If we run it, you can see it works fine. Now, for example, we can type in Delta, and it will automatically add the files updated in the workflow and perform tasks on them. For example, if I ask it to check for typos in the main file, it will check. Or you can ask it to make changes, or whatever you like. Basically, it saves you the hassle of typing / commands for each file. Apart from that, you can now use the new Fix with Assistant option. So, for example, let's introduce a simple error here. Now, you can see there's a linting error. I can just right-click here and use the Fix with Assistant option, and it will fix the error with the AI model you've selected, which is pretty good. Also, we can now use two models in the Inline Assist option. If I use Inline Assist, you can see it offers one model, and if I ask it to do something, it will use that model. But now you can go to the configuration and add an inline alternative model, like GPT-4o. If I go back, you'll see that we can choose the model here. If I generate something, it shows the generation from the main model, but you'll see an arrow. Click it, and you'll see the generation from the configured model. You can add as many models as you want. Now, on to the fill-in-the-middle compatibility. As I mentioned before, fill-in-the-middle lets the AI predict middle code by considering the code above and below. For example, if I create a random number generator function and add a return statement, it will suggest placing the random number in the variable that's returned when I click in the middle. This is what should be done, and it's a great option. Also, you can now add multiple files with the files command, which I showed earlier but didn't mention at the time. These are the major updates. I think Zed is moving in a great direction. It's open source, free, and has everything I want. I really enjoy using it these days. Plus, it's much more usable on Windows, and they'll probably launch the stable release soon as well. Overall, it's pretty cool. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, consider donating to my channel through the Super Thanks option below, or you can also consider becoming a member by clicking the Join button. Also, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.